Today we're in Hong Kong. We're up at the top of the peak to get views of the harbor below. We booked our shore excursion through the cruise line, and it's called Highlights of Hong Kong. And that's a really good title for that because all we have time for are some of the highlights. We're only in port for part of the day, and I am looking forward to seeing this amazing, bustling city. Our excursion includes a funicular ride up to the top of Victoria Peak for views of the harbor there. We will stop at a fishing village, jewelry manufacturing, and end up at Stanley Market.
I'm your tour guide. My name is Jimmy. And our bus is number 3. I told you that now we're in the Kowloon Peninsula, and now we're going to the Hong Kong Island. From Kowloon Peninsula to Hong Kong Island, we need to pass the underwater tunnel. Because Hong Kong Island and Kowloon Peninsula is divided by the Victoria Harbour. But we have 3 underwater tunnels. This is the first one. There's a harbour tunnel. We go up by big tram and come down by bus.
Jimmy purchases the tram tickets for everyone in our group, and we join a massive line to board the funicular. I'm crushed in here with a bazillion people, but look up at the ceiling. So at least we have a pretty view. Our guide encourages us to stay together. It seems like a futile effort as locals as well as multiple tour groups are intermingling. Within about 15 minutes, we make it to the front of the line and wait for the funicular to arrive. Since we were toward the front of the pack, we do manage to get a seat. They also allow standing. I have a pretty good view out the window where I see that people could also take the sidewalk and stairs if they wish. And I see some of the buildings from this vantage point. But at one point I realized that if you want a good view of the city, you should try for one of the seats on the right-hand side of the tram. Oh well, there will be better unobstructed views once we make it to the peak. Lots of souvenirs to be had right here at the Peak Market. We were told that Stanley Market will be the better place to buy souvenirs. We'll have more time there a little later, but just a walk through here from where the tram drops off. There are some little food stalls, places you could buy some bottled water, candy, Coca-Colas, and a bakery. Those baked items look awfully good. 12 Hong Kong dollars for a tart. Other candy and cookies. There's Chung's Tea House down here. And if you wanted to go to Madame Tussauds, it's up here on this floor as well. Restrooms are just beyond Madame Tussauds, and there's an elevator if someone needed to take an elevator up to the peak. As I look down at the view of the harbor from Victoria Peak, I see the seaborne ship almost directly in front. They are a smaller ship and get the privilege of docking in Hong Kong. We're a larger ship and docked farther away to my left on the Kowloon Peninsula. I cannot see our ship from here. As promised, we will ride in the motor coach back down from Victoria Peak, and we drive through this part of the city and through the city streets to go to our next stop on the tour at Aberdeen to see a fishing village. Our group is divided into smaller groups to board sampans. Each one appears to be individually owned, and some are maintained better than others. Some owners also decorate their sampans for the Chinese New Year. The apartments that face this picturesque harbor come with a hefty price tag. This used to be a major fishing village. Row after row of small fishing boats are on my right. People work and live on those boats right in the harbor below those buildings that are a mix between commercial properties and residential properties. Floating in the harbor is a mix of really old buildings as well as floating stages ready to host entertainers. Just like the varying ages of buildings, the boats in the harbor are a wide mix varying from high luxury to practical, from old to new. Enjoy the rest of our harbor ride. third stop today is at the Aberdeen Jewelry Factory. Not the most impressive sign, but it was just a showroom. Our final stop is the tour at Stanley Market. Our motor coach lets us off at the same area where the public buses stop too. Our guide tells us to follow him so he can point out the meeting point before releasing us for free time. And our guide is not very good at waiting, so a few of us have to scamper across the crosswalk to catch up as the Don't Walk sign is starting to flash. We get our first glimpse towards Stanley Market. The ramp in the distance is the entrance we just came from. And this shop is where I was able to find a postcard of Aberdeen with the promise that I could purchase stamps, write my own card, and they would mail it for me. That's one thing I love to do every time we visit a new country. Stanley Market houses about anything you would want in the way of souvenirs. I purchased my name written in Chinese calligraphy here at the Lucky 7. This shop was featured in a travel show and it gets a lot of business, but a helpful hint I can give you is that you can find similar vendors a little less expensive deeper in the market. After the tour, our motor coach dropped us back at the cruise terminal. We're right here at the terminal, and this terminal is massive. It used to be the airport, and it is now the cruise terminal, at least a second cruise terminal. There is one downtown in Hong Kong, but this one is really close to mass transit, all the public transportation. I want you to see how big this cruise terminal is. It goes on and on and on. And there's downtown Hong Kong. There is a system of switchbacks here to walk back and forth to get to the ship. I hope you've enjoyed our day in Hong Kong. This is Shirley with Shirley's Journeys, and I hope all of your journeys are pleasant ones.